Hey, welcome back. It's Brian with BG Model Workshop, and this is the final on our JDM group build hosted by Mr. Sniper42, one of our friends from across the pond in merry old England. I don't know how merry they are these days, but I still like to think they are. But first, we want to mention a friend of ours, Mr. Taylor Braun. Thank you very much for the shop cards updates there, my friend. Very, very cool. I love the look on that. So nice. And then also, again, thank you for the racing card. So I'm thinking that if I ever get a chance to bump into you someplace, I'm going to bring that racing card with me so you can sign it and I can put it on my wall of champions. You'll be the only one on the wall, but you'll be on the wall nonetheless. All right. What do we got going on? Well, we did the Revell Mazda RX-7. This is the 2-in-1 kit that got repopped, I think last summer or so. I'm not quite sure. Maybe a little farther back than that. My memory for that kind of stuff is a little bit lax. That's why I rely on people like Papa Dan and Dan Doan to let me know when I'm flying astray on that kind of stuff. But yes, we did the 2-in-1. We did the one of the two of the 2-in-1, and I happened to realize here a little bit ago that if you just skim this card really fast, you'll notice it says Mazda RX 72-in-1. So I'm like, hey, what happened to the other 70 versions of this? I only had the 2 in the box. Well, I guess it's because it was a discount kit. All right, so on our last update, I had mentioned that we had a problem with the front windshield. We had mounted it a little bit too soon. Well, there was more to that than just mounting it too soon. The glue that I had used, I didn't realize was going to take forever to set up, and the windshield started to slip out of place, and then it set up. So I went to snap the windshield out and clean everything up and remount it, and the windshield broke in the process. Oh, yes, it was sad. It was very sad. But I decided to try and create my own windshield out of a sheet of, let's see, clear polyester. And I used the 0.020. This is left over from the Ice Patrol when I did the rear window for that, which was dead straightforward, no problem on that thing. But this was a little bit trickier because we have a curve and a little bit of a slant and all that kind of stuff. So we got it figured out. It's mounted in there. It's mounted in there rather nicely, actually. And I'd say that if you didn't know I had to swap that out, you wouldn't know I had to swap that out, I guess is the best way to say that. I loved the vehicle on the box art so much that I wanted to emulate that color. And I think we got pretty darn close. And we went to our friends at Splash Paints for that. We got their Battlefield Copper, which is a beautiful, beautiful color. And I'm in love with this color. And I have enough left to do several other models, so I'm going to just paint everything in Battlefield Copper from now on. We did do a couple of alterations from box stock. The mirrors and the wheels were chrome. We stripped those and did them in aluminum. And I love how the wheels turned out. But I'm not too happy with the mirror. I think if I was to go back and do this all over again, the only thing I would change would be I would paint the mirror gloss black, perhaps, and not do semi-bright work there, because everything on the car is blacked out. That's the way things were in the 80s. They did black chrome trim. I remember that distinctly being a thing. I remember thinking when I was a kid, going, you know, I'm really tired of building these model cars that have all this chrome all over it. I can't wait to do a European or a Japanese car that doesn't have any of that stuff on there. Well, it took me like 30 years, but here it is. The only surgery I had to do on the car was a little bit of a nose job. The front of this was a little bit thicker than the rest of the valance there. Sat a little proud, so we shaved it down and made her look pretty, and now she's all ready for a close-up. I should go to Hollywood and become a nose surgeon, I swear. That turned out so nice. The window trim, door handles, and the body molding is actually black Sharpie. I think it looks okay. I might, if it starts to fade over time, I'll just go back over it with some flat black Tamiya paints and touch that up. And I'm not sure if you guys recall, but in the last video I was dreading working on the rear window. Turns out that wasn't that big of a deal at all, because It's all molded on the inside, and the mold lines are raised, and they're raised high enough to where you can trace around them using a mechanical pencil with a nice soft lead, so that it leaves a nice dark strip there, and you can see through the Tamiya tape very, very easily. And slicing was, I mean, you know, brand new number 11 blade, you're good to go, no problem there. Another thing that I might reconsider if I was doing another kit would be either shave off the molded in Mazda logos, or just hit them with a paintbrush. I wouldn't do the decal over the raised bits again. It doesn't line up perfectly, so there is a little bit of a shift going on there, and it's a little bit confusing to the eye. But otherwise, it was a great kit. I loved it. I really don't think there was much to watch out for other than just making sure you have some pretty good fit and finish going on with that front windshield, because it is a little wonky. But otherwise, I recommend this kit. I think it's a lot of fun. Even if you're a beginner, I think it'd be a lot of fun to do. And with the race car version, there's a couple extras you can do with the engine to make it a little bit, hop it up a little bit if you want to do a stock version with a little bit of a hopped up engine. Speaking of which, let's go take a look at that before we run out of time. And the hood, I love how the hood opens. It can stay open all on its own, no problem. Here's our little winkle. I did a little bit of Tamiya panel lining around there to help bring out some of the shadow, give a little bit of a grime wash. So now it's a little bit darker, a little more sophisticated. I think that's a great way to go. And then a little bit of decals on the little washer bottle up in the front, and a few little decals on the air cleaner, which are actually very difficult to read. They just look like blurbs. And there's also a decal for the instrument panel. That was really nice too. I am loving instrument panel decals. That's just a great invention. It's better than sliced bread. All right, guys, that's it. We're done. Call it quits. We're sticking a fork in this because this potato is baked. We're going to be leaving town here in a couple days. We're going to be going off to California to the NNL West show. If you guys are going to be in the Santa Clara area of California, go to the show. Check it out. It's going to be good fun. I hear there's some great deals and stuff. We're going to be bumping into our friends from Splash Paint there. We're going to be bumping into our friends at M&S Hobby as well. And we're hoping to actually go on a couple of tours for some car museums and such. Mrs. BG is actually very excited about that, which is why I love her so much. All right, guys, we're going to do a little bit about the drawing that we want to do, because we have hit 503 subscribers now. But since we're leaving town, we don't want to rush and hurry that, so we're going to probably do that when we come back. All right? So everybody look forward to that. Stay tuned for more updates on a couple other projects we got going on, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.